Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to our at-home workout special with Fabletics Men. Look, I hope everyone is sort of paying attention to the crisis going on. We're washing our hands, we're keeping our social distancing, we're doing our part, and I'm trying to do my part as well by showcase some exercises, a full workout in fact, that we can perform with nothing other than some bands. Really easy to be able to get hold of online, stores, maybe you even have a few of them lying about at home. But today, I'm gonna share with you an entire full body workout, 10 exercises, hitting every major muscle group. And here's the deal with this workout. Circuit based, so each exercise perform for 30 seconds, then move on to the next, continue with 30 seconds until you get to the end. Rest as long as you need, then come back to exercise one, now 45 seconds. Repeat, rinse, 60 seconds, okay? Listen, if you think an at-home workout isn't enough to maintain your muscle mass, improve your strength, work on some other kind of joint mobilization, strength, agility, you're wrong. We've been filming workouts like this for the past week or two. And this has literally been my only workout. So we're gonna break it down, we're gonna jump right into it, and stick around for the end. There's some news with Fabletics Men about their front row tanks and t-shirts, the awesome franchise shorts, which I'll post more of that on my Instagram story. And you know I love the baseline tights, so that's my ensemble. Anyway, let's dive into the first exercise, banded chest press. Now, a couple of variations that we can do here, but one of the best ones is just taking a band. They're all color-coded for resistance. Hands around the back like that. And then all I'm gonna do is extend my arms out. I'm gonna focus more on explosiveness here. So, slow back in, resisting that negative, that eccentric. So 30 seconds of this. And of course you can change the tempo if you wanna pump it. You can even perform this on the floor in a push-up style, like so. Down. I think this band's about 50, 60 pound resistance, so good pump already. Exercise 2, banded lat pull down. Now this one really is effective, both in the gym, at home, traveling. I want to show you how I attach the band. Okay, so just a regular loop. Take it around the top, open out one end, pass the other end through. I don't know what kind of knot or loop that is, but that's what we need. And then for this one, I'm gonna take a grip about halfway up. I'm actually gonna take my hands in and around. What's great about the bands is that based on where my hands are, so if they're further to that top section, I have a lot more resistance to pull again. If I'm all the way down here, less resistance. So that means this is great for performing the equivalent of a drop set or a strip set just by changing our hand placement. So let's take it a little bit higher. And let's sit down, back straight, chest up. I'm gonna drive my elbows down towards the floor. Oh, that's no joke. I'm gonna bring my hands down a little bit lower. There we go. Driving the elbows down towards the floor. And towards the end of my timed set, I like to hold it isometrically. So find that muscle contraction, usually at the end of that repetition. Hold that tension, slowly back up, maybe one or two more of those. Start to feel the muscle tremor. That's when you know you're putting in work. Oh, great pump in the upper body so far. Number 3, tube band chest fly. Now we're gonna switch over from our hoop band to something like this. These are just Pilates, yoga type resistance bands that all have these little eye hooks that we can connect. I've actually got 2 off. So together, these form about 110 pounds resistance. I think what I've got on now is more like 50 or 60. I like to put them behind a fixed point. The reason I do that and not just behind my back is now I can step away from that fixed point to increase the resistance. So let's take a staggered stance so I can support myself. Yeah, definitely feeling that. It's a different feeling compared to cables, because cables, you have that smooth, consistent amount of tension throughout that full range of motion. With bands, you have an ever increasing resistance the further you take it out. So what I can do is kind of keep that tension all the way, take a step back as I fly, and then step back into it. Whew. Yeah, 30 seconds of these. Blood pumped into the chest, heart rate elevated, I'm breathing heavier and deeper. This is a workout, it's no joke. Let's take a look at number 4, banded one-arm row. We're gonna take a different band. I'm gonna perform the same hoop around something fixed, like so. Lock it in. You see me hold on like this, I actually prefer taking my hand under and locking it around like that. See? This way it's a lot more comfortable and I don't have all of the tension just going through my grip. So I'm going to step back, find a good amount of tension, stagger my stance again, ooh, and roll that elbow in towards my waist. Now again, I can step back and kind of step into that row. Ooh, keeping tension much higher on the back all the way through. So I perform 30 seconds and then switch over, perform on the other arm. Okay, where are we? Halfway through. Number 5, a tube band bicep curl. Now we're gonna hit the arms. So for this one, I'm gonna take our bands that we use for the chest fly. I'm gonna double up on the resistance. I think these are sort of, that's 35 pounds. This is 15 pounds. So I'm gonna add an extra 50 pounds of resistance. You know, granted, it's not a true resistance. It's not like I'm curling 110 pounds, but at full stretch, it certainly feels that way. Another great thing about using these tubular bands, hence the name because they're tubular instead of flat, is that I can unhook or hook more or less bands depending on if I want to increase or decrease my resistance. So ideal for the equivalent drop sets or strip sets. There we go. Looks a little bit, you know, like it may not do the job. But check this out. We're gonna put one foot down. If I put both feet down, you see I'm kind of increasing the resistance. So I'll keep it one, palms facing forwards. I'm gonna keep them facing forwards. Upper arms locked in. Yeah. I mean, if these were dumbbells, I wouldn't be going any heavier. So 30, 45, 60 seconds for each of our sort of time sets. Let's start to bring it down. We have still one for arms, banded tricep push down. Really great one here. I'm just going to use the same band as we did for that lat pull down. Change my hand position depending on the resistance level. And I'm going to pull down and apart. So kind of creating a triangle with my hands. Down and apart. So even if I start off heavy up here, I might get 3 or 4 out. Still got time. I'll just lessen my hand grip down. Lower that intensity and keep going all the way. If I'm on that final working set, so 60 seconds, I can then take it right down to the bottom and rep out. Now I mentioned no rest in between each exercise. That is entirely up to you. I've added a note up here. I want you to post your time. If you give this a try with bands or the equivalent, from start to end, 3 entire circuits for 30, 45, 60 seconds, how quickly you get this done is going to be your minimal rest times here. So that's a real kind of test for your actual fitness level, not just a sign of your strength and endurance. All right, let's move it down. Exercise number 7, banded lunge to overhead press. Now we're going to use a lesser resistance band. I've got an orange one here. So about 45 pounds resistance. So step back lunge. And we're going to bring this band up into a sort of underhand position like this. So as I step back into the lunge, I'm going to simultaneously press up overhead. So great one for the legs, the glutes, and the shoulders here. Step back. Oh. Oh. And of course you do this for time and then repeat on the other leg. I feel it here, I feel it here, and I feel it here. So we're combining shoulders and legs at the same time with that one. I love that one. Really good exercise actually for a warm-up when we get back into the gym performing our regular routine. What are we now? Let's have a look at loop band hip bridge. All right, so you may have seen something like this before. They use it in a lot of, I guess, Pilates, yoga, that sort of style of training. You don't tend to see stuff like this in fitness or bodybuilding. Maybe with the women, because they tend to do a lot of glute activation. That's kind of what we're gonna do here. So I'm gonna step into it. Let's put it over the shorts. So I'm sort of midway down from my waist. And then basically we're gonna perform a hip bridge. So I'm gonna bring my feet up towards my glutes, open them out a bit. Let's take that band up a little bit more. Feel the resistance now on my glutes as well as the hamstrings. Palms up, so I'm not actively pushing down. I'm gonna drive my feet into the floor, bring my hips all the way, straight line from knee, down towards my shoulder, bring it in, and keep doing this. Now granted, this may not look like it's a challenging exercise, but you've got to remember where the placement within this workout is. It's after we've hit our upper body, we've already hit the legs, the shoulder overhead press. This movement with that activation, I'm squeezing my hamstrings, I'm squeezing my glutes, my calves are tight, my core is tense. This is a movement that, if you're like me, you're not used to, therefore it's challenging. You know, in all seriousness, bands, resistance bands, I always used to kind of choke at. I don't need them, they don't work, I want weights, I need machines and equipment to get a pump on. This quarantine time has forced me to kind of relook at using these bands and these tubes and resistance bands, and I'm all for it, seriously. Let's take a look at the final few. Banded leg extension. All right, this one's a cool one. I'm gonna take one of the handles off here. Take off the handle. So, got the handle, I got the eye hook. I'm going to attach the eye hook to the band, like so. So now I've got that handle locked in. I'm going to loop this around. I'm basically going to place my foot in there. Locks it in nice and tight. I tried this one out for the first time yesterday. Whew. Leg extended, or bend rather, raised off the floor. I bring the franchise shorts up. Come, bring the camera in. You see how much it's forcing my quad to work? It's literally isolating the quad. And I can increase the resistance by moving forwards or lessen it by coming back. This is unlike any other movement I've done. Yeah, that's probably 10 seconds and I think I'm good on that one. Number 10, high banded crunch. We can't finish our workout without leaving the abs out of play. So if you've been following me over the years, you know that I'm all about hitting the abs in a number of different ways, and this sort of high cable crunch equivalent is my go-to. So look, hands in, overhand grip, like that. It's a good firm grip. I don't have much pressure then on the wrists. On my knees, I'm gonna keep my elbows hooked like this in that fixed position. Exhale and drive my elbows down towards my knees. Not the floor, my knees. So it's kind of a half moon shape. Oh man, that's a crunch. Whew. Okay, so there we have it. 3 circuits, each circuit 30, 45, and 60 seconds per exercise. I really recommend giving it all a try in its entirety. If for whatever reason you can't, pick out a few, post them, tag me. You can use hashtag FableticsMen Ambassador, or just tag me. And to find out more about the ensemble, the Fabletics Men, front row tank, the franchise shorts, which, man, I'm just digging this sort of olive green on top of the baseline tights. Find out more, fabletics.com/Rob Richards. VIP landing page. They have a really awesome setup of picking out clothes, styles, colors, getting the exact outfit that you want. Really great membership, low cost, and let me tell you this, the quality's up there. I've worked with a number of clothing brands, sportswear over the years. Fabletics, they're just doing it right. Great material, great fit, quality, colors, and a ton of different styles, which I'm all for. So there we have it. Hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up or a comment based on what you think, whether you like these workouts, you want to see them changed. And we'll get another one of these early next week, maybe using something else that you have around home. So stay safe, wash your hands, social distancing. We're gonna get through this together. We'll be back in the gym soon. See you guys there. Take care.